My father died at 62. My brother died at 58. My grandfather didn't even make it to 50. In my family, heart disease wasn't a possibility. It was a mathematical certainty. I spent 70 years waiting for my turn to go. But today I am 89 years old. My heart is stronger than it was a decade ago. And I am the only man in 4 generations of my family to see his great-grandchildren. The secret wasn't a new pill or a lucky set of genes. It was a 3-verse passage in the book of Proverbs that completely rewired how I treated my body. If you feel like your family history is a death sentence you can't escape, stay with me, because your DNA is not your destiny. I attended my first heart attack funeral when I was 11 years old. My grandfather collapsed in the driveway, gone before the ambulance arrived. I remember standing at the graveside thinking I didn't fully understand what had happened. My father patted my shoulder and said, "That's how the men in our family go." He said it like a fact, like the weather. My uncle went at 64. My father at 62. My older brother, the healthy one, the one who ran track in high school, had his first heart attack at 53. His second one at 58 killed him. By the time I turned 70, I was the last man standing, and I was terrified. Every chest pain woke me up at 3 a.m., convinced it was my turn. Every shortness of breath climbing the stairs sent me to the phone, wondering if I should call my son. I went to the cardiologist so often, the receptionist knew my coffee order. The doctors monitored me carefully. They adjusted my medications. They told me my risk factors were significant. I ate the same way I had always eaten, the way my family had always eaten. Heavy, fried, rich. The food of men who worked hard and didn't think much about what went on the plate. It was tradition. It was also a slow sentence. At 72, I had my first cardiac event. Minor, they said, a warning shot. I sat in that hospital bed and I thought about my brother. I thought, I am not going out the same way. My wife had been asking me to read the Bible with her for years. I was a church-going man, but sitting down with the Bible on a weeknight felt like homework. After the cardiac event, I agreed. We started in Proverbs, practical book, a man's book, wisdom literature for people who need to make decisions. We reached chapter 4, verses 20 through 22. My son, pay attention to what I say. Turn your ear to my words. Do not let them out of your sight. Keep them within your heart, for they are life to those who find them, and health to one's whole body. I read the last line 3 times. Health to one's whole body. Not health to one's soul, not peace to one's spirit. health to one's whole body. I had been treating the Bible as a spiritual document my entire life, a guide for how to treat other people, how to pray, how to die well. That verse reframed everything. If the Word was medicine, if it was literally capable of producing health in a physical body, then I had to ask myself a harder question. Was I listening? I looked at what I was eating. I was not listening. The next morning, I started reading everything I could about inflammation, about what processed fat and excess sodium do to arterial walls over decades, about the traditional Mediterranean diet, plants, fish, olive oil, that reads almost exactly like the dietary principles embedded throughout Scripture. I changed everything, not gradually, all at once. My wife thought I had lost my mind when I threw out the sausage. I told her I was finally paying attention. My cardiologist ran a full workup when I turned 80. He looked at the results for a long time before he spoke. My arterial inflammation markers were significantly lower than they had been at 72. My resting heart rate had improved. My blood pressure, which had been a problem for 20 years, was under control. He said, "Whatever you changed, it's working." I told him I started paying attention to what I put in my body. He wrote something in my chart and didn't ask more questions. I reached 85, then 87. Then last spring I turned 89. My son is 61 now. He started watching what he eats 3 years ago. My grandson is 34 and hasn't touched processed food in 2 years. I am not just living for myself anymore. I am living to prove to every man who carries this family history that the pattern is breakable. Every year I am still here is a data point. It says, the curse ends when you decide it ends. I decided at 72 in a hospital bed the night after a warning shot. I am still here. Your family history is a roadmap, not a prison. It tells you what happens when men in your family eat a certain way, move a certain way, and ignore what their body is telling them. It does not tell you what happens when you stop. Pick up the Bible and the fork at the same time. Read Proverbs 4:22. Then go look at what is in your refrigerator. Those two things together saved my life. Subscribe to this channel. Every week I come here with straight talk about what survival looks like after 60. No softening, no sugarcoating, just the truth from a man who outlived his family tree.